Hello, everybody. It's Leela and
Hello, it's
Beau.
me, Grumpy Bear.
Hi. We're here to recap episode 11 of Girls Planet Goo Goo Goo.
Goo goo goo.
We're almost to the finish line. I can't
Woo!
believe that we're almost
I
there.
can completely believe it. It's been a slog, for sure. It's been you know that scene in Never Ending Story where he's pulling his horse, the famous scene of the
Yes,
horse sled.
the really
Felt
sad.
a bit like that, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're the horse or if we're Atreyu, one or the other. I can't.
We're Atreyu, the horses are all of our faves that have been eliminated.
There's Rarika. She's going down in the mud. Rarika, no, she's going making that puffy face. That's it. Yeah, it's been a bit rough, but been fun.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. We'll talk about this last episode, and then we're going to talk a bit about our predictions and things like that. So this episode had the OOO mission. We talked about it last time. They broke up into 3 teams and redid a restructured version of the OOO song.
Yeah.
The winner of the member of each team that got the most likes on their fan cam on YouTube got extra points, and that was Bahia, Youngun, and Yujin.
Right.
Which was, other than Youngun, pretty predictable for that.
Eugen not so much, but what they did is they basically
popular.
they broke you up into 3 9-person teams and one with an 8-person team because there's an even number of contestants now because what's her name left, and I hope she's feeling better. And when they first made it, when we first saw the OO cams, everybody of course predictably said that's unfair. All the high levels
Congrats,
are on one team, the mid levels are congrats by, and all the low levels are another team. And I thought, no, maybe they did it literally by blah, blah, blah. I was trying to figure out how they did it. But then you realize what they did was similar to the teams who you decided to do a group of 3 competition against 6. Mm-hmm. You had less of a chance of winning.
Right.
You could go to 9-person and have or whatever, what I'm saying, like a greater percent chance, but your payout was lower.
Right.
So they evened it, I think. They acknowledged the high levels, which was fine. Everybody knew because you could just see their ranking. But I kind of like how they did that in that way by saying only one person is going to get this instead of saying the entire group gets a win, and everybody knew the popular girls would get it.
I think the only end effect of those extra points was for Youngun, and we'll get into that.
Yeah, because Youngun won in Bora, the lower ranked team. Youngun was the higher of the level.
She got a lot of points from that.
Yeah, and then second, the middle people won that one, I believe. I was surprised Eugen won out of everybody in the high levels. So
I'm not. She's popular.
I can't quite remember who all was. But somebody said that Koreans especially are really, really good at not manipulating, but doing a bunch of likes in a bunch of different ways. They're doing this from their streaming culture and stuff, and that might be true. I'm not saying they're dishonest or anything. It's just part of the thing,
The best part of that mission was that they showed fan videos to the girls. I remember on social media a couple of weeks ago or something, they said, if you wanted to submit a letter to the girls or a video to the girls, that you could do it, but I didn't participate.
Yeah.
But they showed the girls some people that had done dance covers, and then I think each girl got a individual message from a fan that was sent to them in the videos.
But even in that way, Bora couldn't get acknowledgement on screen.
They edited out Bora's fan message.
They did several people. There were 26 people. I'm just kidding. The thing is about Bora, she gets tons of compliments through screen time, but they don't want to actually say the words. It's like they're secretly in love with her and just can't manage to say I love you. So they just show a bunch of nice clips of her. Yeah. But it was really nice because they've done that on every show we've ever seen like this, where they suddenly turn around and the screen's active. What's going on in this?
So
and then you see it's a bunch of really cute little fans and the kids.
It's my favorite part. It was so good, and Bora was full on ugly crying, and so was Yeso, just sobbing. They were just letting it all out. They let all that stress out.
The stress has to come out. So Rich's was 2 young boys, which I thought was funny.
They were so cute.
They were I think they were speaking English too, because they didn't know.
I think so.
They were not English speakers, but they were speaking English to her. And it is kind of a silly thing, but when you think about it, that's the whole point of an idol, is simply to be a conduit. It is to make people happy. That's not an exaggeration. They are there to perform, make you happy, sing you a little song, maybe make you cry a little bit, collect their stuff. It's almost like a person that is a hobby in person form, And it's not to make light of it, and it's not to make too much of it either, but those videos show you that for some people, this show, especially because of COVID and lockdown and stuff, has been something for them to do, and is a good predictor, I think, of the new group's success. But just being an idol group, they'll be fine. But I thought it was nice because you do kind of, with no audience in this season of this produced show, no real fan interaction other than that fan meeting. You're just put up in a hole. For the whole thing,
like it's hard enough as is, but then never having any feedback from the outside world of the fans or the people that actually like you. It's tough. But it was so. It
was very sweet. I honestly could have watched all 26 videos.
Me too.
But this whole series has been a very quick production. I want to remain skeptical, but I'm a positive person. And I do think that because of COVID, not because of necessarily COVID restrictions, but I will guarantee you there was probably time limits on how much time they could spend together. And, like restrictions like that the crew, one person had to do three people's jobs.
I don't think it was all like that.
I'm just saying it does affect, not even just having the crowd there, everything goes faster. You don't have to shuttle a bunch of people in and shuttle them out. Everything is very fast. My only my only, argument with it is that this is the perfect season of the produced series where they could put fluff stuff because they're not there is no crowd, there's no all those extra shots.
We're gonna make it all the way to the end without a shot and silence game,
they could have just put video them hanging out doing stuff, practice. I'm just kind of shocked that they didn't fill up each episode with like 10-15 minutes of fluff. At the same time,
they're trying to make it cheaper,
right? They're wanting it done, so it's been a bit confusing. That's all. Oh, we're not even. Were we covering them in this list separately?
No, I have a new tab, so we can move on to the eliminations. Okay.
Yeah.
I did it this way just because it's a little bit more visually makes sense to me. So we had our top 9, which was surprising at the bottom. The bottom, like 7, 8, and 9 has just shuffled around almost every time.
Which is what we said it would do.
It's kind of wild. So this time, 3 people that hadn't been in it before got in the top 9, which was Shauna, Yanning, and Youngoon. Youngoon, I think, because of those extra points that she got. Got up there, but then that knocks out some of the top 9 regulars like Richie, Chaehyun, and Yeso. It hurts.
I can understand it with Yeso, I think, because she's had screen time, but there's been no real interaction with her in the camera.
They showed her a lot more this episode. I think they were trying to boost her up a little bit.
But people might have kind of cooled off on her a bit. Chaehyun had that last episode that made her look bad, kind of. But I think I don't know how much that affects voting as much as it's very simple. It affects voting in the way that not in the ways that other people think that people might think, but it affects it in the way that it just makes people cool off a bit and go, you know what? I think this time I'm going to throw my vote towards someone else. But keep in mind, this is with 3 voting, right? So we're still doing that. It was one each country too. So next week it's too late. It's going to be I think probably pretty wacky what happens, but it will cool off and people get used to it. But I can understand it with quite a few of these girls. But, I can understand Wenjia climbing up, for example.
And Bora, as you said, you were right.
I was right.
Bora made it without Planet Pass, which is kind of awesome. Maya ended up getting the Planet Pass, which, in my opinion, I would have picked Monami over
I would have honestly picked any one of those girls other than Maya. I just think that Maya's too young. I think she's very sweet. Yeah. She's a good... I think she's... It's not that she's talented, but she's got that childlike...
I think that having another K group participant in the final is just going to steal votes from all the other K group participants, which is probably not going to have the effect they want it to.
I think she'll get very few votes.
I don't know that Maya's going to get towards top 9 or whatever. Chai being eliminated, dropping from the top 9 all the way into not even making it to the final episode is the most legendary fall from grace I think I've ever seen in a show like this.
I would have preferred her, that Planet Pass to go to her or Manami, even Sinway, who is a,
oh my
a
god,
bit of a meme.
her whole thing this episode's in a way we don't talk about her much, but she's really funny and just lovable goofball and like been the comic relief of the show.
Yeah.
She was so sweet this episode, and like she was up for the 17th place but didn't get it.
Yeah.
And she was too sad to like say her like remarks, so she waited until afterwards and said, "Can I have the mic now to say something?" Which I thought was really brave of her and also really cute and like sweet that she said them. And then after being a meme this whole time, she just like grabs the mic and says like the most poignant, thoughtful,
and that was a translated
mature
version, so I imagine it was perfect.
Like, good for you, man. Well, she is such a sweetheart.
In that moment too, it's that's the first time they showed that general moment where, okay, we're done, go say goodbye. They hadn't done that every single time. They did it, I guess, once in the first one where they were out in the bus or whatever. But that was the first kind of, and maybe they showed it that way because she kind of broke quorum a little bit and kind of, and it was a nice moment. They're like, hey, let's just wrap this up in this whole moment of them saying goodbye and stuff.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, when she say, my daughter.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
And the We Are team broke up with Monami leaving, and it was so like
I just don't understand.
Poor Monami looked so dejected.
Maya above Monami for Planet Pass makes no sense to me.
I don't get it. It makes no
sense. Now, granted,
sense.
Monami is a bit of a one note in her regular performances.
There's no reason for it other than they wanted another K group participant.
Correct, but I just think that she just showed so much. She's so adorable, but also pretty. She's got everything covered. She can be cool. We saw on the right. She can do it all. I just think that she showed.
It was the only reason they picked Maya. She was the only K group left.
In that whole thing down there.
Yeah.
Well, May's in a K group
May
right now.
J group.
I know.
J.
Rurika, I can understand. Rurika got no screen time at all.
Anyway, it's fine.
I was kind of like, seriously, you're gonna put her above Monami? That blew me away.
Yeah. Because
I just don't think Maya has a chance in hell. She's not going to make it. She's like 10 years old. She's going to go to school for a couple of years and then be an idol after she goes. I love her to death. I think she's very cool.
I'm sure she'll get picked up. She's really good, but I don't think she's necessarily suited to be in a group with the rest of these participants particularly.
Yeah.
Like, Maya and Yanning should not be in a group together. That is just a vibe that is just not not matched.
Well, think about it.
Or even Eugen.
Think about it this way. If Maya...
They're really cute together, but... There is like a 10-year age gap there, and that kind of the concepts.
I'm fine with that, but it's a little weird.
The concepts that are appropriate to do, like having Eugen go do a cute concept with Shoot with the younger girls was good.
She was
you can't go in the other direction, and like this is a really big side rant, but I didn't watch Produce X 101, and I just saw X1 as they debuted, and was like. Their debut song, and I was like, what is this music video? Why are these 12-year-old boys like dressed like that? Ugh. They weren't grinding.
No, but
they were just like seductively laying on a bed, like wiping their lip. And I was like, you look 12. What is going on? And that was because it was a situation where there was like a 10-year age gap between the top oldest members of that group and the youngest. And even the youngest ones looked even younger than they were. And so it was just like, it completely put me off of them. As I got to know them later and I went back and watched Produce X 101, I love them all. I love them. I love all the Gravity members. I love everyone that actually came out of that group, even though I didn't like X1.
Right.
Because I thought the concept was too mature for the young boys.
Yeah.
And it just made me like, so it would be a similar situation with Maya in a group. It's just, it's not appropriate to put her in like overly sexy stuff. But to be fair, I feel like it's kind of not appropriate have Dion and Snake with that garter belt and stuff.
It's not at all appropriate for most of
them. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like, what was that? Like it didn't vibe for me with that for her. I think the style that the group goes in the end, if Dion's there, I don't think it'll be like that. So
for Maya, just imagine her in 5 years. When the cute is not cute anymore. It's just...
No, she'll be cool.
Of course she'll be cute.
Maya is great.
I'm not saying she's
just
bad.
Not for this group.
I'm just saying the growth of her abilities and stuff. All these girls below already have abilities, and it's just... It was just... I love Maya to death, but I thought that was just a waste. Complete waste.
Well, yeah. Okay. And we'll go on to our top 9s. So we are going to do it different this time. You have one top 9 that's your actual prediction for what will occur, and then one that's just your dream
You should have
team.
shown our two together, though.
No, I'm going to let you talk through yours, and then I'll talk through mine.
Oh, you haven't shown me yet.
Yeah, you haven't. I've seen yours, but you haven't seen mine because I made the presentation.
We're probably pretty similar.
So go ahead.
Well,
what is this troll pick right here?
Okay, so for top 9, this is how I think it's really going to go. I'm not saying necessarily, I mean, I am, that Fuyan is going to be number 1. Although that's what I'm saying. I think she will be in the top 4, but I think she's shown nothing but she's not only
resilience.
She's a positive meme in a way. And
it. Oh my goodness! After the ladybug thing.
Yeah, the ladybug thing, right?
Because I think there will be only 2 C group members in this.
I do too.
For me, and historically, that has been Xiaoting and Richie, right? But after this week of ladybug meme, after her getting into top 9 already once,
that's what I mean.
Man, I don't know.
See, because think about it.
Oh, I'm stressed.
I'm talking about my top 9.
Okay, go ahead.
Think about it. If this show had another month, Yanning could fall back down. The key with these shows is catching the wave at the right time.
She's the phoenix rising from the ashes.
You have to catch the wave at the right time. So this is why Shouting, for example, and I'm just calling her Shouting, she was always number 1. She was a vote dump. I'm not saying there weren't legit votes. She's great and pretty and all that, but
vote dump is a rude way to say safe pick.
A safe pick.
Yeah, she's
people were dumping votes on her because you knew she was going to be number 1. So everybody kept her afloat. Now that you got to vote for your own favorite number 1, people that don't have the extra vote, they're going to just vote for their one fave. And Yanning, she has several things. She has the story, the redemption arc. She's got a bit of an attitude still. Mm-hmm. She shows off whenever she doesn't go, oh my God, I'm so lucky to be in top 9. She's like, I got top 9.
She flicked her hair and
she's fine.
Strutted up there.
Own it.
You're going, Yanni.
Just do it. Just do it. Hold on. And not only that, and she's got, I think, of all the girls, probably, she's got the most, how do I say this? The most common sexiness or attractiveness.
Oh yeah.
She looks like somebody you
Definitely.
might. She attracts boys a lot. A lot of the men like her attitude. They're kind of her kind of forward attitude. I just think that her trajectory has been this anyway.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if we had 3 more weeks of the show, she could fall back down and never see her again. I'll talk about my dream team in a minute, but so I think Mishiro, you can't deny that she's just got a ton of votes behind her. Yep. She's not necessarily what'd you say the nice way to say it? A safe vote. A safe pick. Safe pick. She had legit, I like her too.
She has a fandom.
I like all these
people
girls.
that have followed her career.
Diane, I think, was kind of socially manipulated into the top 9. For me, she does nothing because doesn't do anything. She's just kind of a blank. She doesn't really. I haven't seen much from her, just other than I can dance. I don't know. There's just not much going on there. She seems a little too young and everything to be in certain styles as well. But she's good. I'm not knocking her at all. I love her to death, but she's just not my style of an idol. Xiaoting, same thing. She's pretty, but I think others are prettier. But she's got legit fans behind her around the world. Same with Hikaru. Hikaru's got international support. Eugene, you can't deny. Again, it's not a safe pet. Actual fans. Shauna, I think, showed that she was slowly going to... I've talked about Shauna since the beginning. With that clear voice and the way she carries herself, and she's super adorable, but she's also super pretty. And I hate to talk about looks, but I'm saying this is what other people consider. I don't consider it, but this is what other people consider. That she has a certain prettiness that looks kind of... I don't know how to explain. She's very, very sleek, like her hair's straight. She's very cool. Chain fell because of that last episode. She'll get back up there. People love her. She looks goth. And I legitimately think Bora will legit make it into the group. Okay. Just based on, it seems to me, more young women like Bora.
Yeah.
Again, I understand guys are, Xiaoting's so pretty. It's like, okay, all these girls are pretty. But I can kind of, those young women who will support her till the end. I'm one of those young women. So.
And what about your dream team?
Easy. This is in no order. Hikaru, of course. You got Shauna for that middle high, that trumpet clear sound of her voice. Youngun, because we need chaos, please. Richie, who I think lately I honestly believe has just felt sick. She felt under the weather or tired. I don't think she's necessarily, she's a bit despondent and stuff, but I think she's just kind of tired of the grind a bit. She maybe misses home a bit. I'd like to see her though, because I think she is one of the most unique idols you would ever find.
Yeah.
If she makes it in the group, there will be some controversy come up here and there, but it will disappear, and every idol will want to meet her at the shows and stuff. She's going to be so cool.
She's Miss Popularity.
Everybody
loves her.
She's so pretty. She sings so well. She's charismatic. Yeso, I can see how people have cooled off, but I still think she's going to be the knockover of the group. Adorable, but full of ability. I mean, give me a break. Wonji's been my girl forever. Bora, of course. Yujin, I'm cool with. You need 2 moms in a group this big with a bunch of daughters, and maybe she'd be the other mom.
My 2 moms.
And Chaeyeon, as much as I'm not really into Chaeyeon, I understand why people like her voice more than Bora's, because I tend to like voices that have more of a characteristic rather than an ability. So Bora's is not my normal type of singing voice that I like. I'm not a Whitney Houston fan, although Whitney Houston is, I mean, I love her, but she's not my ideal type of singer, where I might like somebody like, I don't know, with a more organic kind of voice, not a trained voice.
Someone said, and I thought it was a really good description of Chaeyeon, that she has that perfect idol voice. She really has a perfect idol voice. Well, like it's that perfect SM trainee.
And she looks a certain way. She's very goth looking. People haven't said that about her.
She's just pale.
She's just very, she looks goth in that hat. She looked totally goth. But I hope my dream team, at least half of them, make it. Every time I look at one, I'm like, oh, okay, actually that one has to make. And then I look at another one, I'm like, no, that one has to make it. So it's going to be hard, but so that's mine.
Okay.
Don't be mad at me, audience. Just tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, what did you
These
do?
are my prediction is that I will accept that I could be very wrong, but I'm going safe with people who've always been towards top 9. So Xiaoting, Mashiro, Hikaru, Yujin, Yurina, Richie, please, for the love of God.
Where's Richie at now? I forget.
Like
10.
10, yeah. And then Chaeyeon is very popular. Dayan, I think we can't quite deny it. And then Yeso, I think it's going to be another K group, and I think of the K group that are left, she probably has the best chances, please, for the love of God, please. More so than like Youngoon or someone. So that's not my predictions. It's pretty safe, I think, with the exception of Yeso, because she's kind of dropped a bit, but she might come back up.
Yeah.
My dream team, just like, from the heart. I do like Xiaoting.
Oh, I do too. Don't get me wrong, I like her too.
And Wenjie, of course. Meme Queen. And then Hikaru, of course. Bora, if I were to make a dream team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then Yurina, I still like.
I
Richie,
like Yurina, yeah.
Chaeyeon, Youngoon, my girl, and Yeso, my girl. My 4, Youngoon, Yeso, Hikaru, and Richie, my 4, like, ride or die, fight me, and Net. In my dream team, and then just other members that I just would really like. I think this would be
crazy.
This would be such a highly skilled team, a visual powerhouse team.
Funny,
like
too.
With Xiaoting is just undeniable. Like her
she's gorgeous,
presence and her prettiness, and she's just gonna print money for this group. And like with this group, I was thinking yesterday. I was watching. Someone unbox ENHYPEN's new album, because I've talked about that I watched Island. It was my first experience watching a survival show live.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then and they were unboxing it and like looking at the photo cards, and I was like, man, I'm just like thinking of like, I need a Yeso photo card. I need a Youngoon photo card.
Yeah.
I need Hikaru and her awesome selfie skills.
Something cute
and
or something.
Richie, like, just thinking of what it would be like to have them in a real group at the end just makes me really happy. I don't know if I'm going to get what I want.
See, and here's one thing I have accepted, any of these, it's the same with, voting in real life or, favorite movies or whatever. To somebody else, Yujin is what so-and-so is to us.
Yeah.
So I keep that in mind, and I can see the appeal there of it's just something you can't place. That's the power of these shows. Yeah. And these are why they're so successful, is it lets you build up this story in your head, so they don't have to do all that work. They just put out a few videos and a couple songs, and meanwhile, you're feeling this whole worldview. Oh, well, yawning, I can't believe she said that to Yujin, and wait, no, it was evil editing. Now let's redeem her and let's vote on, that's an arc, that people have gotten, that build up in their head. And a lot of these young women, they've done the same thing. Shouting to me, though, is the only weird one, because other than her shouting and be a little bit of a meme. They just haven't shown much of her.
I think that though, because for a long time she's remained at the top the whole time, without like a lot of what I would see in like international fan community support, which is in like the memes and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the last few weeks with the Shin shouting it's really endearing.
Oh, she's really endearing.
They've showed a lot of stuff about her that is really endearing and likable. She's pretty quiet. She needs to, if she's going to be in this group, actually make real efforts to speak Korean. I don't know that she really has done that very much.
She's got to do that.
But even still, she's like very highly voted. But I would say I won't be surprised if in the end she isn't actually ranked number 1 in the end, because I feel like she has been that safe pick for the Korean audience whose true 1 pick is in the K group, but she is their safe pick C group, which has put her at the top always.
Yeah.
Whenever we've always been forced to vote for one for each.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if she drops considerably, but I still think she has a really solid fan base.
Oh, yeah.
So.
We shouldn't say that Koreans all want to vote one way or everybody has a variety.
It's a generalization, but I think it's a fair one to say that the Korean audience will vote for K group members.
I think so, but I think it's a modern.
I could be wrong.
It's a modern era now.
I could be wrong.
The idea of the show is that we're trying to get some cultural ties going, some cultural exchange going between these three Asian powerhouses. Korea is culturally a powerhouse. Japan is economically a powerhouse, and then China's China. It's a world in itself. Yeah. So I would like to think, and I do think that the common citizen is kind. Plus, look, you take shouting, and she doesn't speak Korean. There is nothing more adorable than somebody who doesn't speak your language and tries to speak it, and it comes out. I'm reminded of Eunbi on the Japanese reality shows where they would go to the variety shows, and she would stumble through it, and they were just dying. They're like, "Oh my God, she's so cute," because she's not normally a cutesy person, but when you're trying to speak Japanese, So I look forward to her stumbling through Korean.
Yeah, I think it could go any way. Like, I'm prepared for everything. You've got to be. The next episode is actually going to be live, so we're going to be up at
6 a.m. is the same time.
6 a.m. I think our time zone. I'll have to double check that.
Be sure to check your local time zone, and just what you do is you just ask your local lady in the box. You know who I'm talking about. Starts with the A or the Hey G.
ALEXA.
Yeah, don't say that. But just ask her or search it. What time is it in Seoul, Korea right now? And it'll tell you. And then you get a good. It's 12 hours or whatever it is in front, and then just mark it down.
Because how the voting works is between now and October 22nd, you get a 1-pick vote every single day. I'm still going for 1-pick Richie. You're going for Bora.
Bora.
That hasn't changed. And then
ride or die. Wait, is that what they say?
Ride or die. And then to the actual live episode, you get one more vote during the episode.
Yeah.
So don't miss that if you can. You don't have.
Or go get you an app. Go get you an app or a widget that shows you USA time or wherever you're at and Korean time.
I forget the name of the website I use, but that always shows you. The last thing I wanted to mention is that I would love to hear from the people who've watched our show. What you would like to see from us, like, for the final episode. I'm tossing around different ideas. I'm tossing around the option of us actually recording a live reaction.
Yeah.
So we can show our actual reaction, then editing that down as our final episode, and then also doing a discussion later.
Yeah.
But it's not something I've ever done before, so I don't know,
Yeah, we just watch it live and record it, our audio.
Yeah, but what's the best way to do it and not get your channel destroyed by
just
copyright?
do audio. And
mainly
still pictures.
So I'm tossing around the idea of doing that, and then also after the last episode next week, when we talk about what the results are in the final group, then maybe doing one more reflecting back on the best moments of the show and going back to our very first 10 favorite people and talking about what happened to them, and then giving some updates on what we know so far about the people that were eliminated that were our faves.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing those things. If those things sound good to you, please let us know in a comment.
Yeah.
And I'll try to make those videos for you guys. But thank you for listening. Thank you to everybody. Please leave us comments. Thank you for coming along this stressful journey with us.
Yeah, it's not over yet, but there.
And we'll see you next week.
Hopefully.
Oh, man.
If the world doesn't end or something.
Oh, man.
Oh, well. It'll be good. It's going to be a good time. Go, Bora. Go vote Bora, please.
Vote for Richie.
Richie will make it. I just predicted she wouldn't, that's all.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. I'm glad that our neighbor decided to mow at this point.
Me too.
Well, we'll
Sorry
finish
about
up.
that.
We'll
finish up really quickly.
Hey, neighbor. He mows probably twice a week.
Just give it like a minute. He'll be gone. I'll edit it.
That? You don't have
He mows like every 2 days. I can put this in like the bloopers at the end or something.
He does mow every 2. Oh, we got a package anyway. Mm-hmm. Let me go grab it while we're waiting.
No, I didn't order anything from Amazon. I think it's Robot.
Oh, yeah. They're on sale. They have one from our army. Nice.
There's only like enough to do 2 rows of this.
It's like 3, but yeah.
Okay. We can just start talking.